Hi, gorgeous, and welcome to the Confident, Energized, and Sexy Mama Show. I am Dorit Palvanov, your host, feminine energy expert, health coach for women, registered holistic nutritionist, and the creator of the groundbreaking health and mindset program for moms, Energized, designed for perimenopausal women who are done having kids and are ready to get their confidence, energy, and sexy back. Ladies, think about it. What would the world look like if, as women, we stopped being so harsh on ourselves and instead felt more energized, powerful, confident, and more connected to our bodies? What if, as women, we honored the fact that we are built and wired differently than men, and being different does not mean being inferior? That the go, go, go mentality, alongside doing more to have more without ever pausing and resting, only leads to chronic stress, anxiety, burnout, overwhelm, lack of joy, and corrodes our health, relationships, and vitality. What if, as women, wives, and mothers, we had the courage and confidence to desire more? More freedom, power, energy, joy, abundance, pleasure, fun, play, and sex, all on our own terms. Mama, you deserve to feel good. You deserve to form healthy relationships, and your body needs, craves, and deserves pleasure. This is your birthright. You're here because you believe in your feminine energy. You're here because you care about health and the environment, and you're not afraid to take action and change. You're here because you don't want to pass on a pattern of self destruction, hiding, and not speaking your truth to your daughters. You're here because you're done feeling stuck, living a mediocre life as a half woman. You're here because you are done struggling and, frankly, can no longer afford to feel like crap. Each week, I will be here for you, dropping a healthy dose of inspiration and motivation, as well as introducing you to my brilliant guests, where we will dive deep into all things womanhood, feminine power, energy, psychology, holistic and alternative health, food, nutrition, hormones, fitness, mindset, motherhood, relationships, sex, business, and much more. So, Mama, are you ready to take back control of your health? Let's do this. Hello, gorgeous, and welcome to another episode of the Confident, Energized, and Sexy Mama podcast. This is Dorit Palvanov, your host. Man, what crazy and intense couple the last couple of weeks have been for me. Holy moly. um, the past few weeks, I've dealt with some pretty difficult family drama. For the privacy of my family members, I won't mention the exact details, but I will tell you that this had the potential of sucking the energy out of me. So, as I'm thinking and reflecting on myself, even a year back, family drama was that thing that had the power to completely crush me to the point where I could not function, whether it is in my personal life and in my business. I had zero creativity. I didn't want to create. I didn't feel like I had the creativity juices to put out into the world, a message, let alone, hold women's hands and pull them out of their own misery. It's really tough to do when you are in a kind of like a deprived and depleted space yourself. And I was thinking how whatever happened recently in my family it was so terrible. Like, I cannot even explain how bad it is and the consequences. It's like the ripple effect of that, right? When something massive happens, it's like a little pebble that you throw into a lake, into a calm lake, and you know those little circles that happen as a consequence of you throwing that pebble. That's the ripple effect. And so whenever some dramatic or traumatic experiences happen in a family, in a relationship, in a any setting, whether it is in your personal life or at work or in the community, whatever it is, there are consequences after. And so for me, that after, right, the post effect was the hardest thing to deal with. And I am just, as I'm observing myself and the way I responded and the way we are, all of us as a family, coping with this situation, I must say, I'm really, really surprised. Um, because I didn't lose my center. I didn't feel like the energy is sucked out of me. On the contrary, I feel like I have and I am showing up the way I want to, or I would want to show up, the way that I know God expects me to. You know, all the work and all the personal development and all the coaching and all the therapy and all the psychotherapy and all the yoga and all the breath and all the meditations and all the um, the all the work that I've done, mentally and emotionally and even spiritually, and of course with my physical health as well. All of those things have lined up behind me to support me through this challenge, and it's a big one, right? I really want to stress the fact that it's a very, very, very big deal. So whatever I am talking about here on the podcast, the tuning into your body and really understanding your body's energy from a place of energy preservation, on top of creating new energy with the food that you eat, with the mindset that you feed yourself, right? With the connections that you surround yourself with. Like, all of those things are important and they absolutely matter. However, it is so important to have a solid foundation. And when you understand your body and the way it's designed and the way, you're biologically um, created, and the way your cycle works and the energy system that works around that, it is so, so, so important. Because in these moments where life hits hard, and I mean, I'm sure, we are, as I'm recording this, we are still in, I think it's already 6 months since the coronavirus hit us, and the economy is just slowly opening up, but the energy of the world is still very much in just this, the crowning. I talked about this in the last episode. It's the crowning. It's that feeling of contraction. It's that pain, right before something new emerges. And so you're familiar with that. So whether it is an argument you've had with your partner, hard conversations with your kids, with your parents, with your in-laws, with your siblings, or with your friends, with whoever it is, relationships are the number one indicators. Healthy relationships are the number one indicators of a happy life. And so from my experience, I am observing and just seeing how I was able to respond and how I was able to contain myself and hold myself and really take care of myself through this process and really do the hard things that I'm supposed to do, whether as a mediator or as somebody who just uh, communicates with common sense and with some logic and with some, even, some maybe healthier mindset and healthier point of view and perspective. It takes courage and it takes confidence. And absolutely, it takes energy. It takes energy. And for me, energy is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. It always comes down to energy for me. And so if you're familiar a little bit with the Enneagram, I am Enneagram number 4 with wing 5. And so energy has always been something that I've struggled with. As a young girl, I remember at school, I always needed to just whenever life hit hard, or whenever I felt a little bit overwhelmed, or whenever I had to deal with like an upper limit problem, whenever life felt a little bit harder or a little bit challenging or a little bit, whenever life required a little bit more out of me, I would have these massive headaches, and my body would just feel really, really heavy, and I felt this pull towards the ground. And so now I understand that what the reason it happened for me all these years was because I didn't know how to take care of myself sustainably as a woman. And so part of the work that I do, a big part of the work that I do, is really teaching and training women to understand their energy, and the energy, specifically the energy of their body, so that how to. It's almost like if you think about yourself as a cup, and most of us are walking around in the world as cups with holes, right? So you probably heard the term energy leaks, right? Where our energies are just leaking out of us, whether it is in the way we are showing up, in the way we're connecting, in the way we're thinking, in the way our nervous system is wired, in the way we connect to people, in the way we work, in the way we eat, in the way we breathe, even, right? All of those things, in the way we connect with our partners, or parenting could be one huge energetic leak if you don't know how to patch those leaks. And so the work that I've done in my own life and in the lives of my clients is really teaching them to close these holes. It's like patch them, so that whenever you pour energy in, whether it is with good, eating better, moving your body, installing a healthier mindset, starting to meditate, whatever good you want to bring into your life, whatever change you are embarking on, it will not work. And believe me, I speak from experience, and I've been doing this on my own. I've been doing this work for over a decade. Until you learn how to master your energy, all of that, work that you're doing with yourself, it's not going to matter, because you will always find yourself struggling. You'll always find yourself just, swimming above water. And that is the impact that this work, that I've been teaching and talking about and sharing, that's the impact that it had on me. So I wanted to share that today from my own experience, because I want you to know that I really do understand how it feels. And especially as a wife, and as a mother, and as a as a woman who is aspiring to create and build something meaningful in this world, right? To live with your purpose, to live with your um, to make sure that your potential, your God-given superpowers, and your potential as a woman is actually actualized. You actually get to live it and live by it. So it matters. It matters to me. It matters to you. And I want you to know that I get it. I really deeply do get it. It's really, really important for you to learn to own your energy first and foremost before you are doing any other work that is related to healing and health, and before you are starting to put on layers on top of layers. I want you to have a strong foundation. So the reason I'm sharing this with you is because if you feel like you have these energetic leaks in your life, and whatever it is, whether it is in your relationship, whether it is with your work that you're doing, whether it is in your motherhood experience, whatever it is, whatever the origin of this leak is or are, please reach out to me. Please reach out to me and let's talk. I'm not inviting you into a sales call. I just want you to start taking steps towards your own healing, towards, a better life for you. I truly believe that you deserve, and it's actually your duty, to live your best life, to live a life of joy. And I want to give you the tools to live your life with confidence, energy, and passion so that you can actually be a joyful woman. Because when you are a joyful woman, then you are a joyful wife, then you are a joyful mom. And when you, as the mother, are happy and joyful and confident and energized and passionate, then the ripple effect of that is, it's incredible. Then everybody wins, right? And then think about the magnitude of that, right? If it's not just one woman who lives her life that way, think about if it's 10 women, or if it's 100 women, or if it's thousands of women who just change and decide to own their right to living a joyful life. So I'm inviting you to contact me. I'm inviting you to reach out to me. You can find me over at Instagram by my handle at Dorit Palvanov Coaching. Send me a DM and let's talk. I'm I really do want to give you this opportunity to reach out to me, to connect with me, and just know that you are not alone. You are definitely not alone. Also, in the next couple of weeks, I will be launching a new iteration of the program, of my signature program, Energized. It's 4 weeks of training of materials that are exactly that, where I will be teaching you how to create these patches to close up these energetic leaks, leading with understanding your body, understanding your cycle, understanding how to feed yourself, how to move your body, how to connect with the world, with people, how to create solid relationships by first and foremost feeling connected within yourself, right? So that's coming up. And I think I said everything I wanted to say. Yes. So if this is interesting to you, please reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. Let's chat. I want to know, what are your struggles? What are your challenges? And where do you feel, what are your energy leaks? I want to know, what are you struggling with? And what do you find especially challenging to deal with in your life? Okay. And speaking of energy, speaking of living with mindfulness and really owning the power of your body and your mind, today I want to introduce you to a new friend of mine. Her name is Jennifer Schlueter. She joins us to share about the art of relaxing the mind and opening up the subconscious in order to remove limiting beliefs and blocks, most of which are connected to our past. Jennifer is a hypnotherapist, and her journey in hypnosis actually started when she was living in Los Angeles, living a full life with an inspiring job, a nice apartment, and great friends, and yet somehow feeling deeply unfulfilled. After a single hypnosis session, she knew with great clarity that she was going to begin traveling and gain time freedom. Since then, she left her job, lived off her savings while attempting to become an influencer, scraped that to become a VA, and eventually transitioned to hypnotherapy, returning to the practice that had caused her to change her own life so drastically. Jennifer primarily works with entrepreneurs who know they want to do more in their business, but find that it just didn't is not happening. By using hypnosis to identify internalized stories, Jennifer is able to guide clients through the process of changing those narratives and breaking free from the past. And you and I know that a lot of these energetic leaks, they originate in the past. And so I highly encourage you to listen. Hypnotherapy, for me, the way I know hypnotherapy is actually from birth. I was taught um, how to get into a state of hypnosis in order to birth more mindfully and to reduce pain. And as you know, I've had two natural births. That's how I know hypnotherapy. Other than that, this content was completely new for me too. So I've learned so much. I've learned about the difference between stage hypnosis and hypnotherapy. Um, I've learned about how a hypnotherapy session is actually conducted, especially since Jennifer work is, I think it's online primarily. And then we talk about also the difference between hypnotherapy and meditation, because I guess that's how I think about hypnotherapy. We also talked about past life regression. And I know it sounds woo woo, and she talked about what it is, how it's done, and when is a good idea to try this. I think for so many of us, um, we are not aware that we can use these techniques and these tools to recover from chronic pain or debilitating recurrent dreams or some kind of messaging that comes through us and most often communicates with us through the body. And so I think this is really, really powerful. We talked also about near death experiences, what they are. She calls them NDEs. And then, of course, we talked about the importance of understanding our subconscious mind and how to have access to it. Since so much of our, our awake reality or what we believe is to be real is actually our conscious mind. But the subconscious, it's like a huge iceberg that lies beyond, under the sea. It's the thing you don't see, but actually is the thing that makes you take certain actions or makes you behave in certain ways. But you're not, in most cases, we're not even aware of them. And so it was powerful for me, especially, now hearing this with whatever is going on in my family. It really helps me to have a new and a new perspective and a different angle on everything, and understand people and my family members from a more compassionate and kind place, as opposed to being judgy and um, angry with people. um, and then we also touched upon entrepreneurship, as a way to build confidence. And she talked about how to use hypnotherapy and how to use the subconscious mind in order to create a business and build the life of their dreams through entrepreneurship and how to make their business a reality. As you know, if you are in, if you are an entrepreneur or an aspiring one, so much of this stuff is really in our head. And if entrepreneurship is something that is new for you, as it is for me, I did not grow up in a family where entrepreneurship was even a thing. I grew up with both my parents were employees, and my mom to this day encourages me to get a job, to get a real job, to have benefits and all that stuff. And it's a struggle for me. It had always been. And so we talk about how to build more confidence by having a strong relationship with the subconscious mind, and all of this good stuff. I think this episode is especially important if you are in the building stages or if you're overcoming something really difficult. I think this episode will give you the tools, it will give you some insights, it will give you something to think about. And if you connect with Jennifer's voice, with Jennifer's approach, please reach out to her. I am going to include her website, her Facebook, her Instagram handle, her YouTube channel. All of those things are linked up in the show notes below this episode. So head on over there and take action, right? Take action on your life. This is your one and only life. This is not your practice life. So take charge of your confidence, take charge of your energy, and live a passionate, purposeful life like you deserve. All right. Without further ado, here is my interview with Jennifer Schlueter. Enjoy. Okay. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. So wonderful to have you on the show. So I always like to start with the story. I always like to ask my guests about what brought them to this point to make a change and start a career, that is basically in the healing arts, that, helping people to shift and change and heal and become better versions of themselves. So let's start there.
Yes, first of all, thank you so much, Dorit, for having me, and thank you for giving me the space to share my story. Um, so it's basically started in 2015 when I had a job that was really great and amazing, but at the same time didn't give me room to grow. So there was something missing in my life. And then I lived in LA, and I've always been a traveler. And from LA, I had traveled a lot, but I found it's too long of a way to just travel somewhere, right? So I wanted to travel more. I wanted to do more, and I wanted to inspire people to travel, most importantly. And then with my unhappiness in my job came more unhappiness with my life as well. So my friend suggested to me that I should do a hypnosis session. And that's what I did. And after the first hypnosis session, I literally woke up in the morning at 5 a.m. and I had made the decision to quit my job and travel the world. So 6 months later, I set off to do that. And then I started off as a travel blogger and as a virtual assistant. But still, then I was like, okay, there's something missing still. And then in 2018, I decided to really learn and study hypnosis because it has helped me so much with my past. Because as I have been traveling and working online, I've been working with a hypnotherapist, and she helped me find out why I was dating horrible guys, why I had this pattern. Then she helped me find out, or she helped me fix the relationship with my mom. And she helped me fix my money mindset as well, from this German kind of stingy poverty mindset to like a really expansive wealth mindset, and to a mindset where I can really do whatever I want, and where I can really achieve anything that I want. And so I studied hypnosis myself, and I was dabbling in it a little bit. And then last year I said, okay, I'm doing too many things. I'm doing travel blogging. I'm doing virtual assistant, I'm doing hypnosis, I'm filming a documentary, like I need to do one thing. And so the universe led me to, like, I had to calm down. I had to be in this place where I was just able to focus and where I had no distractions. And the universe gave me this idea for a course that's called Find Your Gift. And I put myself through the course. And it was a course where I gave people 5 weeks of hypnosis recordings to find their gift, to find what it is that they love so they can do it and get paid for it. And I put myself through it, and I found out that my gift was actually giving hypnosis to people and help people with the same thing. So that's what I do today. I actually help people finding their soul's purpose so they can do what they love and get paid for it.
That's amazing. That's so inspiring. It sounds like it required so much courage and really true listening to that inner calling. And I really commend you for that. I think it's really scary. It really is. So you mentioned hypnosis, and I think people have a vague idea of what that is. For me, my husband actually has a friend who does hypnosis. He has a YouTube channel that one of the videos went completely viral, where he basically he did I think it was in LA too, where he showed he basically asked for a volunteer, and that woman, he made her like orgasm in front of everybody. So when people say hypnosis, honestly, like that's what I think about it. I feel about like mind control. I think somebody is going to take over your brain. Somebody is going to take over your mind. So for those of us who are not super clear on what hypnosis is and how to do it the legit way, can you share a little bit about that?
Thank you for bringing that up, actually. I wish there were two different names for what your friend is doing, which is stage hypnosis, and for what I am doing, which is hypnotherapy. So there are two different words, but then again, people combine it and think it's the same thing, and it is not the same thing in a way. So let me tell you the difference. But first, let me clarify that hypnosis is never mind control, because we as people are always in control of our minds. Because imagine there was mind control, there was actually mind control. All the politicians in this world would have controlled all of our minds to give them all of our money and to, just do whatever it is that they want. Is that the case? No, because we still are in control of our minds, and we can still do whatever we want, and we still have the power over our minds. So what your friend did with this woman, I commend her, because she was very self-confident to orgasm in front of everybody. So her subconscious, which is what we access when we're in hypnosis, which is basically just a relaxed state of mind. When you are so relaxed that your brain waves are slowing down and that your conscious mind is turned off, it's when you get to the real you, and it is when you get to when you get to the real you, and it is when you don't think, when you don't analyze. But this lady was so confident that she actually said, okay, I'm going to run with this joke, what the stage hypnotist is doing, and I'm going to orgasm in front of everybody. I don't have a problem with it. So good for her, because as soon as he would have said something that she would not want to do, she would have snapped out of hypnosis. She would have been in her faster brainwave state again, and she would have said, the fuck, like, no, I'm not going to do this. But she was confident and calm about it, so she did it. So that's how stage hypnosis works. And that's why stage hypnotists always check before they search for their subjects. They always have their little exercises that they can do to see how suggestible a person is. And then here's the other type of hypnosis, which is hypnotherapy. We, as hypnotherapists, we also slow down your brain waves. We turn off your conscious mind, that you stop thinking, analyzing, judging. And we go into your subconscious so we can access all the experiences, emotions, or whatever has been stored in your subconscious from the age of 0 years old until your past lives. If you believe in it or not, you can still get a past life in hypnosis as well. So we access all these memories that are stored in order for you to turn them into something positive. Because when we're children and when we're young, our subconscious minds are wide open and everything gets in unfiltered. That means if your father says you're not good enough to do this, if your mother says you're fat, if your friend says you're yeah, you don't deserve this, we take on these beliefs and we keep them until we're grown-ups, and we have taken them on because we were not able to filter out that these beliefs were wrong. So now when you have a problem in your relationship, or when you have a problem of not being confident enough to do XYZ, or when you have the problem of, oh, I don't know what it is that I want, then you can go into the subconscious state of mind, which is basically just relaxing your brain waves and basically just relaxing your mind so that your conscious mind is turned off. When you do that, you can work on these negative things. You can reframe them into something positive so that your brain thinks, actually, I am good enough. I am confident enough to do this. I can do this. I know what I want and I'm going to go for it. So it's really reframing anything negative that has happened into something positive.
So then what's the difference between hypnotherapy and meditation? Because isn't that what we do when we meditate? We calm the mind down, we slow it down, and we access, our true authentic selves.
Absolutely. So the only difference is that hypnosis has a purpose. The purpose may be to quit smoking, to find your soul's purpose, to become more confident. That's the purpose. And meditation is more like relaxing, and guided meditation is also more just the relaxation. And I don't want to say not thinking about anything, but more of really letting your thoughts be, seeing them without analyzing, just letting them be and letting them go and really be in the now. And hypnosis has a purpose of, like I said, quitting smoking, becoming more confident or whatever. But it's the same state of brainwaves. It's the same relaxed state of mind. It's also being in your subconscious. That's the same when it comes to meditation and hypnosis.
So when someone is embarking on a journey for healing, what would you suggest? What would you recommend for a person who is just starting out? Should this person first be acquainted with basic meditation, or can we jump right into hypnotherapy?
I would say it doesn't make a difference. Always depends on the person's willingness. If the person is willing to jump right in, let's go, let's do it. That's totally fine, and you are able to do it, and you will see results. If the person is like, I'm not so sure, I just want to try this for myself, let me try a guided meditation, and then they can do it. And then when they say, I'd rather have somebody with me, like a hypnotherapist who can guide me, then that's for them. So it really depends on the person and what they want and how ready they are. And you don't really have to be ready for hypnosis, but if it feels right for you, if it feels like that's the right step to take, then you can take it. There's no harm in it.
Okay, good to know. So you mentioned past life regression, and when we chatted before, we connect before we started recording, and you mentioned past life regression, I was like, oh my gosh, like, how are people going to respond to that? Because I always have to be careful not sounding too woo-woo, because not everybody understands. So can you talk a little bit about what is past life regression, and why, how can we position it in a way that is not, I think whenever something is felt as woo-woo, it basically gets into a realm of something that you can't really quantify scientifically, maybe. And we live in scientific time, when people, in order to make something believable, people need, say, science and studies and data to back it up. So can you talk about past life regression, what it is, how it's done, and in which situations is it a good idea for a person to access something like this?
Yes, absolutely. But before we do that, since you mentioned that it's too woo-woo, so to say, and that we all have to always have scientific proof, why is that? Why do we not rely anymore on what we have inside us and what we feel inside us? Why do we need other people to prove things that sometimes get unproven, or that get proven wrong later on? But why is it that we put so much emphasis on something that needs to be proven on a paper, and then 20 years later we find out that this is wrong? Why don't we really listen to what's inside us, to what's right? Because at the
Yeah,
end of the day,
I think I believe me, I ask this question all the time, and I think it's because um, we are conditioned from a very young age to not trust ourselves. Trust is a huge issue, and I deal with it in my practice as well. People who don't trust themselves, how can they trust anything that comes from the self? And so that is the reason why we need the studies, we need the articles, we need the data to feel like, to feel safe. What do you think?
I disagree. I would say I don't think we need it, but nevertheless, I will go into something that will maybe question you, that will maybe leave you to question, past life regression, and to maybe believe in it. So the scientific proof for past lives are near death experiences, NDEs in short. People who have had NDEs all speak of the light, of this loving presence, of this peacefulness, of this beauty that they see when they have died, basically. And in different cultures, they come towards it with they either cross a bridge, they cross a tunnel, or they cross something that is that is making them see the light. All people, all across all cultures, see this light, right? And then they all say, yeah, other souls come to me, and I see other souls from, like the people that have passed on, or that the souls that I know, and I feel this feeling of home. And so it's always the same. And then some people recount, there was a case where somebody recounted the number on a air conditioning that was on the roof of the hospital that they were in. How can they have recounted that if they were not out of their body? So if you look closer into NDEs, you have the scientific proof, so to say, for past lives also. And then with past lives, there are several hypnotherapists who have done normal hypnotherapy on their patients, but then they found out, wait a second, this was not this life what these people are talking about. This must have been a past life, because they were in a completely different country. They were speaking a different language even. And there's lots of kids who remember their past lives, and they speak a language that doesn't even exist anymore in today's world. Or there was this boy who, when his mom saw that the dog died, she told him, like, stay here, I'm just going to call my friend, and then we're going to take the dog to the vet and to like, take him away. And then when she came back from the phone call with her friend, this boy had buttered in the dog, as they have done in ancient Egypt, as a burial ritual.
Mm.
So there's some things that people don't know, that they shouldn't know in this life, but that they do know because they've lived a past life. So there's another proof, so to say, if you will, for past lives. The benefits of past life regression include, for example, if you have a pain that is inexplicable. For example, if you have a pain in your neck, and then you do a past life regression, and you find out that you have been stabbed in the neck in your past life, and then the pain is gone. That can be the case. If you have a phobia, for example, of birds, or you cannot wear turtlenecks, and you find out that birds have eaten your body in a past life, or that you have been hung and that's why you can't wear turtlenecks, then your phobia is gone. And then the biggest benefit of a past life regression is basically like you go into your past life regression and then you understand some things. After the past life, you go into the soul space, which is the space between lives, which is the light that happens when an NDE is happening, right? So when you go to that state of light, that state of your soul, that's when you can ask your soul, why am I here on this earth? Why did I come back? What lesson am I supposed to learn in this life? What is my purpose in this life? Why did I choose my parents? What am I teaching them? What are they teaching me? And you can find all these existential questions, and you can connect with your spirit guides, you can connect with the masters, and this will give you a sense of trust in yourself, and it'll give you a sense of trust in the universe, and it'll give you a sense of knowing why you're here, which is what a lot of people are searching for, but they can't find because they don't have the scientific answer.
Yeah. It's to be honest with you, like I'm really curious about it. I also have some fear because I know about myself that I have a very wild imagination. So, and I haven't had a near-death experience to, to remember or to fall back on. So I don't know how to distinguish between this being real and me just telling myself stories. So I don't know. Do you have something to say to that?
Yes, absolutely. So let's say you have an issue and you tell me, hey, I want to work on this issue and I feel like this is connected to a past life, perhaps. I say, okay, let's do past life regression. And then something comes up for you and then your issue is solved. Your main concern was to solve the issue. Whether we can scientifically prove that you have been in a past life or not, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because your issue is resolved. That's one way to say it. The other way is if you really want to find out if a past life is true, I can take you into a past life regression and I can ask you things like, what was your name? When did you die? How did you die? Blah, 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 blah. And then afterwards, you could do research if that person really existed, and you may find a connection to Dorit in this life.
Let's see. Okay. I guess it's something I have to try and then report back.
Yes.
All right. So tell me, so now I understand what hypnosis is, the difference between hypnosis and stage hypnosis. So hypnotherapy and stage hypnosis. I understand the difference between hypnotherapy and meditation, past life regression. So these are all kind of healing modalities that we can group under understanding the subconscious mind. So can you tell us a little bit about why is it important to understand to understand and access the subconscious mind, and then I'll ask you the next question.
Okay, absolutely. So understanding the subconscious mind will help you get to the root cause of your issues. And because now with our conscious mind, usually when you ask somebody and they answer with the conscious mind, they will, if I ask somebody, why is it that you're not confident? And you're going to answer like, man, I don't know, I just don't feel confident or whatever it is, right? And then you may go back to a situation when you were 20 years old and something happened and that you can remember that made you not confident. Maybe it was a teacher in college who said something about you. But then you go into hypnosis or into meditation or in the state where you can access your subconscious mind, and your subconscious says, no, that was not the root cause. The root cause actually lies way earlier than that from the ages of 0 to 7, or it lies in the womb, or it lies in something ancestral, or even before that. So, but you get down to the root cause when you work with your subconscious mind. Also, because all of our habits, meaning also emotions that are stored. For example, if you react to, let's say your mother-in-law is really driving you crazy, right? And you just, before you even go to her, you're like, oh, this woman is driving me crazy, I don't even know how to change that, or with any person really. And then when you work with your subconscious mind, you can understand that, because you can find the root cause of why you are projecting. Like, well, why is it that you are always thinking that this woman is driving you nuts, even though maybe she's not even doing anything? Maybe it's you perceiving that she's doing something. And also, our subconscious mind stores emotions. Let's say we feel not confident when we face a large audience, right? That's only because our subconscious mind has stored that other people say that we should be scared when we face a large audience, because we could say whatever. That's only because our subconscious mind may remember something in the past where we fucked up when we were in front of a big audience. Our subconscious mind just stores experiences that we have had or that other people have told us about. So now we automatically are afraid of big audiences, or of cockroaches, or of God knows what, right? And when we work with our subconscious mind to change that, to find the root cause and to change that, then we have a completely different outlook on the future. So really working with our subconscious mind is changing our future for the better. And if we program our subconscious mind with repetition, or with resolving the root cause, releasing things, then we can actually change our lives.
So can you give some, maybe three or however many you want, some tips or maybe techniques or strategies that women who are aspiring to become more confident, what are those habits that they need to be taking in order to change, in the on the subconscious level?
Absolutely. So a very, very simple thing and technique is to close your eyes, to take 3 deep breaths, and to be in the moment. And once you're in the moment, you can ask yourself, where's this fear coming from? Where's my anxiety coming from? Where's this really coming from? Like, what am I actually afraid of? Am I afraid of speaking in front of thousands of people? Or am I actually afraid that I'm going to make a fool out of myself? Or am I actually afraid that I don't feel safe, or that I'm not going to be happy after I've spoken there? So really find out where your fear is coming from. And by closing your eyes and taking 3 deep breaths is really a great way to find out. Another tip is meditation, and really have no goal with the meditation. Have no goal, have no expectations. Just sit there and look at your thoughts, and don't analyze them, don't think anything about them, just see them pass by, and then try to calm your mind. That's the second tip. And the third tip is, there is plenty of stuff on YouTube when it comes to hypnosis, when it comes to meditation. There's other techniques like EFT and NLP, who are also working with the subconscious mind, so you can change on a subconscious level. And you can do all of them for free on YouTube. Like, there's a past life regression on YouTube. I have a letting go meditation on YouTube, which is really powerful. Or I have a meditation on YouTube, to stop craving sugar and crave water instead. And there's lots of confidence meditations on there as well, or hypnosis. Whatever you search for, you'll find it.
Awesome. I'll make sure to link up to your YouTube channel in the show notes. Awesome. And then my last question is about entrepreneurship. So a lot of my clients are, executives, are women in business, but I also have another group of women who are working, but like yourself, are not really satisfied, wherever they're working, and they know that this is not like their lifelong purpose or career. And so from my personal experience, I know that entrepreneurship is one way to build more confidence. But so many people, especially women, I find they struggle with making their business dreams a reality. Can you share a bit about why that happens and how we can use hypnosis and past life regression and and the subconscious mind to really help ourselves to create this reality that we want for ourselves?
Absolutely. I think a lot of people also struggle because they're not exposed to the right environment, so to say. They're not exposed to the right people, and they're not exposed to the right books or internet, anything on social media, whatever. So really once you really found what it is that you want, which you can find out with hypnosis, which you can find out with meditating, with journaling, whatever it is, you can first of all find out what it is that you really want. And then you need to go look at who has done it, or who are people you admire that have done it. And you can either copy what they have done, or you can look at them and see them as a role model and look at some of the steps and like, oh, this may work for me, this may work for me, and see what it is that you're really feeling inside. Listen to your gut, listen to your intuition, and also surround yourself by people who are going to bring you up, who are going to cheer you up, who are going to support you. Your family may not support you because your family maybe doesn't have an entrepreneurial mindset. The entrepreneurial mindset is to go and do it and to make it happen. Your family is going to say like, or your friends are going to say like, ah, why don't you have like a safe job? Why don't you take a safe job with the money? And why do you need this business? Blah, 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 blah. No, go hang out with people online and offline who are going to cheer you on, who are going to support you, who are going to help you, and who you can ask for advice. That's really, really, really important to have this community, because you are not alone. You don't have to do it alone. You have people who have been through that, and you are not the first person to go through this or to do it by yourself. But no, there are people out there who want to support you and who are putting out their free resources for you so you can make it happen, because they also want you to succeed. Like I'd rather see people who are struggling to make it work but really living their purpose than people who are just in a job that they don't like and they always complain, right? So I really want to help those people as well. Like if you have found your purpose and if you want to make it happen, I support you. I support you even before you found your purpose. Like if you are really trying to find what it is that you love so you can support this world in a bigger sense, so you can make this world a better sense, we are all here to support you, because that's something amazing that not always everybody has the courage to do.
Yeah, that's so good. I personally needed to hear this today. So thank you. All right, so now we're shifting to the second part of the interview. So the first part of the interview was really about questions about your work, and now it's questions about you as a woman. So the questions, the way I'm asking my guests to answer them is like quick responses. Okay, you ready?
Okay.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So the first question is, what is your definition of feminine power?
Feminine power is to lead with your intuition.
Okay.
And with love.
Love that. Okay. Second question. As you know, this show is all about inspiring mothers to own mothers and women to own their power and feel more confident, energized, and sexy as women, wives, and mothers. And I like to call it being a goddess. So I'm curious to know, how are you being a goddess in your own life? How do you take care of yourself, your soul, your body? What are some of your non-negotiables?
That is great, because I have on my mirror, I have a little post-it note that says goddess mode. So whenever I want to get into goddess mode, I just breathe out everything that's no longer serving me. I imagine it to transform into white light going back into my heart, so that the space that was filled with something negative is now filled with light and with something positive. That's my goddess mode, and that's how I would say I take care of myself. And I also treat myself to like good food. I don't eat a lot of processed things anymore. Good food, lots of water, and just exercising. Good company, really good company. People who bring up my energy.
Love that. What makes you feel confident?
that little exercise that I just shared, the goddess mode exercise, that makes me feel confident. And also when I can doll myself up a little bit, when I put on my mascara, when I put on some earrings, and just when I make myself feel good, and also, but also, can I share this? It's going to be a little bit longer answer. Is that okay?
Sure.
I was recently in Ethiopia, and I was invited to an Ethiopian wedding, but as African time wants, it was really late, and then I got the note that I should wear a cocktail dress and everything, but I didn't have one, so I really showed up really like feeling bad because I was not dressed to my best, and I forgot to put makeup on and everything, and I said, no, I'm going to be in goddess mode. I'm going to convince with me from the inside. And when I tell myself that, that's the way it's going to go. And so I met amazing people, and I made that night amazing because I chose to. That inside, I'm going to shine, and that's what I did.
Awesome. Beautiful. All right. My next question is, what makes you feel energized?
I would say dancing. The right music makes me feel energized, but also this goddess mode exercise makes me feel energized.
Awesome. Great. Listen, if simplicity is the best, if there is just one thing that makes you feel confident, energized, and maybe sexy, then you just do that. What makes you feel sexy?
Sexy, I would say, again, that
That
exercise.
exercise. Okay, awesome. So I like to keep it real and show listeners that even though someone is an expert in one area, they might be struggling with other things. So what are some of your current challenges as a woman?
One of my struggles is definitely settling, as in settling when it comes to a home. Because I've been traveling for so long, and like my soul is like, it's time to kind of settle into one place, and then I'm like, yeah, but I want this, and I want to go here, and I want to go there. So that's something I struggle with, and that's why I have slowed down my traveling. So step by step, I'm getting to the place where I can settle.
Yeah, we haven't even touched that, but you guys, this lady has been traveling for how long?
For 4 years.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. But you don't have kids, right? You don't have a family. So
No,
that's
I don't
I don't
have kids. I don't have a husband or a boyfriend, so
it makes it a little bit easier, although this is an excuse, and we've talked about it. We know it's an excuse, but it makes it much easier when you don't have dependents and people who, you know.
you could
Okay.
also say it makes it, having a boyfriend makes it easier because then you're two people traveling. You could also
Yeah,
say,
boyfriend, yes, but not kids. For me, like this is the biggest thing. Like I would love to travel with my husband, but not with the kids, because it's at least not when they're young. Maybe when they're a bit older. All
yes.
right, my next question is, so the mother-daughter dynamic comes up a lot in my practice. Not every woman is a mother, but every woman is a daughter. So I'm curious to know, how do you think that your relationship with your mom helped to shape who you are today?
That is a loaded question for me. Well, so my soul's purpose is to learn and teach how to love. And when I found that out, actually the whatever relationship I had with my mom completely made sense, because I had to learn how to love my mom. I had to learn how to understand that she actually loved me, because we've had a really, really terrible relationship for the first, I would say, 25 years of our lives, or my life. And even though she always loved me, she showed it to me in a way that I didn't understand and that I didn't comprehend. And she was always gone. And she tried to compensate her being gone by material things, which I completely, I didn't like it. I didn't understand it. I didn't want it. I just wanted her quality time to spend with me. And as I've gotten into hypnosis and into self-development, as I've read the 5 love languages, I actually got to understand, okay, there was a lot of shit that happened, but she didn't mean it that way, and she actually loved me all this time. So for me, it has been a huge like all of my life I've been struggling with this relationship to my mom, but I can proudly and finally say now that we have learned how to deal with each other, how to love each other, how to spend time with each other, and we have really developed a solid and great relationship. After now I'm 30, and it took us about like 5 years to really do that. So I'm proud of it, and I haven't given up, and she hasn't given up, and it was not easy with both of us, but it has happened. So it can happen for everyone. If it can happen for me, my mom, it can happen for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big one for me too. All right. In one sentence, what is your vision for your life? What are you creating? What is your life's purpose?
As I've said, my life's purpose is learn and teach how to love. So I really want to inspire people to do things with love and to bring more love into this world so that we can all love each other more and that we can all put more love into each other's lives.
Amazing. All right. Jennifer, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your wisdom and insight. Can you please share with the listeners where they can find you? How can they connect with you? Now is the time for that.
Yes, absolutely. So the best way to find me is on Facebook. I'm happy to also receive friend requests. Just send me a message, like I listen to you on Dorit's podcast or whatever. So Facebook is really the best way. You can find me under, we're going to put the link in the podcast notes, I assume.
Yeah.
And then you can find me at my website at mindyoursubconscious.com. You can also find me on Instagram at mindyoursubconscious. And under my name, you can find me on YouTube, and there's free meditations. And on my website, I also have 30 questions to help you find your purpose. A free PDF that you can get and you can download. So yeah, just check it out.
So your YouTube channel is called Mind Your Subconscious?
It's called, or you can find me under my name, Jennifer Schlueter, but I can also give you the
Okay, perfect.
link.
So I'll make sure to link up to that. It sounds like it would be a helpful resource. And for me too, not just for the listeners. All right. Thank you so much, Jennifer. It's been such a blast. And I can't wait to connect with you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well. Thank you for letting me share on here.
My pleasure.
All right. So, isn't she amazing? I know she is. I highly encourage you to head on over to her Instagram profile. It is amazing. I love her style. I love her writing and everything she talks about. Before I let you go, I want to remind you to reach out to me on Instagram at Dorit Palvanov Coaching if you have some deeply ingrained energy leaks that suck the energy and the life out of you, and you really want to finally fix this and start living the life of your dreams, the life that God had intended for you. Please reach out for me. I really want to hear from you. I want to help you, and I want you to start living the life that you deserve and nothing less than that. Okay, so again, head on over to my Instagram handle at Dorit Palvanov Coaching. Leave me a DM and we'll connect. So I'm sending you off with so much love, many blessings, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.
Wait, before you go, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and if you did, I want to know about it. So snap a picture of you listening to this episode and share it on Instagram or Facebook. On Instagram, you can tag me at Dorit Palvanov Coaching. So Dorit is spelled as Dorit and Palvanov spelled as Palvanov Coaching. So it's all one word. Or you can use the hashtag Confident, Energized, and Sexy Mama Podcast. You see, my personal goal beyond having amazing conversations with guests or hosting solo episodes is to increase the visibility for this platform and these messages to be shared and heard by women who need it the most. And there's no way that I can do this on my own. So I'm asking you, the incredible community of confident, energized, and sexy mamas, to help me with this goal. So, whether you're coming to me through iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, wherever you're listening to the show from, please rate, review, and subscribe to the show. This would mean the world to me, and it's so helpful for other mothers who are looking for this information. So, thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.